Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the Toys era, the Omniscient. Who is this, you might be asking? Well, this is Heimdall, based off his appearance in the Thor films, aka Idris Elba's character. I personally was waiting for a long time for Hot Toys to eventually step up to the plate and give us their own version. But they never did, and it doesn't seem like they're going to, so Toys era rolled up their sleeves and said, "Don't worry, we've got this," and fingers crossed they do, because their previous releases have been fantastic. That Green Goblin and the Doc Ock figures were, in my opinion, up to the standards of an officially released item. Now don't forget, this guy right here is an unlicensed product. That means Toys era don't have the correct intellectual property rights to actually make this item, so keep that in the back of your mind when you are making your purchasing decisions. I got mine from toyswonderland.com, and the link for that is in the description below for your reference purposes only. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. And here of course we have the box art for the Omniscient. I cannot stress how big this box is. It is absolutely enormous. So I'm pretty sure that means the figure inside is going to be, just a little bit tall. We'll have to wait and see though in just a second. Now on the front of the box, we do have this silhouetted glossy style image of Heimdall's face with a little bit of his helmet. A pattern down the side, and an image of the Bifrost activation piece that's in the middle of the thing where he shoves his sword in and then it activates the Bifrost. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with that. That would have been a really cool piece to get along with Heimdall, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be happy with just the figure himself, as I know I will be. And yes, my suspicions were correct. This guy is absolutely enormous. Don't worry, we will be doing some size comparisons later on in the video. Now, as you can see, he comes with 1 and 2 trays. So what we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. And here we have all the bits and pieces that come with Heimdall. Let's start off by taking a look at his display base first. As you can see, it is that Hot Toys rectangular style base, so no problems whatsoever. This can fit in really nicely alongside your other Hot Toys figures. You also don't have an ugly nameplate that says The Omniscient on the front. They've left it blank, but there is a space in case you wanted to make your own. You also have this textured plate up on top that has the Bifrost style imprint, and of course a regular crotch grabber up on top. Now as for his accessories, I was pleasantly surprised. This sword is made entirely of die-cast. That's insane. It weighs a ton, it feels super high quality, there's a bunch of detail in the sculpt, it is painted and weathered nicely in the crevices, and then the blade itself is a gorgeous gunmetal chrome. This thing looks and feels perfect, in my opinion, in hand. He also comes with these 2 mini daggers that I'm pretty sure go around on his back and slot onto his belt. These are also, you guessed it, die-cast metal, so you are getting a lot of metal in the accessories, even though you aren't getting a whole bunch. You also get an array of hands. These aren't the best, most well-painted, detailed hands that I've ever seen, but they definitely will get the job done. The skin texture is a little bit flat, I have seen better, but for Toys era this is fairly decent. What we are going to do now though is get the figure himself out here and take a closer look. And here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that, but I have placed the daggers on the back of the belt to complete the overall look. And that look is badass. I am super impressed with this figure. He's covered from head to toe in stunning gold armor. There's a patina throughout. The outfit is super well detailed. I love the head sculpt. It's really simple, but it definitely gets the job done, and it'll fit in perfectly with Odin and the other Thor figures from Thor 1, or in fact any of the other Thor films. That's why I love this figure. He is incredibly versatile. He's one of those characters that you didn't really know you needed until Toys R Us said, no, we're gonna make it. And therefore, they did, and it turned out amazingly well. What we are going to do now, though, is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have him up close and personal. This figure truly is striking in hand, not just because of the absolutely enormous size, but also because of the detail on the armor. Let's start off with the head sculpt first. The helmet cannot be removed. It is fixed to the head, but that's totally fine with me. I don't think we ever saw Heimdall not wearing his helmet while he was in this particular getup. Now, I personally can tell that that is supposed to be Idris Elba on the inside of the helmet, although he is wearing those orange contacts like he was in the film, and he does have the goatee around the front there. As you can see, you can sort of peel away the helmet because it is a more rubbery style plastic, and you can see a little bit more of the sculpt. But no, unfortunately, it is not removable. Now, as for the helmet itself, it is massive, and it is painted to the nines. It's not just a metallic gold. There's a wash in the crevices, then dry brushing over the top to give it that dirty patina style effect. The same thing can be said for the rest of the armor. The good thing about all of the armor is it is nice and flexible, so it should get out of the way of your posing. I really like this intricate design on the front of his armor here. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be, but if you do know, let me know down in the comments below. He also has various sections where there's a little bit of weathering here and there on the outfit. Now, speaking of the outfit, the material they've chosen is a very lightweight synthetic style rubbery material. No, this is not pleather, so fingers crossed we shouldn't have to worry about creasing or degradation over time, and it is also really well detailed. It has the same texture as leather or pleather, but it does retain all of the really awesome qualities about that stretchy material that Toys R Us have been using recently. If you do have a knee or a leg bent for a long period of time and you do simply unbend it, I've seen that the creases pretty much vanish immediately. So whatever mystical science is being used here on this material, yeah, keep it up, Toys R Us. He also has this scale mail type of effect on this inner cloth section and some pants on the underside here. You also have a couple of gold stripes running down the side of the pants, which nicely meet these big honkin' gold boots. And yes, it is a split cut boot design, my personal favorite. That same awesome level of paint application is done to the boots. There's weathering, there's dirt and grime, there's a wash in the crevices, and the same thing can be said for the lower part of the shoe, plus yes, there is detail on the tread there. Now, I did save the arms for last because I do want to talk about these gauntlets. They do sort of sit around the hand, and as you can see, they are starting to scuff up the hand, at least on mine. They're a little bit flexible, so I am tempted to try and push them up a little bit higher on the forearm just to give slightly more clearance to the hand itself, because as you can see, when you are moving it, it's constantly rubbing against the edge of the gauntlet. But other than that, yeah, I'm super impressed so far with Heimdall. You also have storage for those daggers on the back there. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have the Thor 1 version of Odin. Yeah, it's been that long since we've got a new version of the All-Father. Hopefully, sometime down the line, Toys R Us decide to do a new one, because, yeah, if anyone can do it, it's definitely them. But so far, this is the only one we have, and he looks great standing alongside Heimdall. He is a little bit shorter, as you can see, but this Odin figure was already slightly bigger, in my opinion, than he should have been. He also has that big honkin' helmet up on top, which makes him look even taller than he already was. But nevertheless, these two work really well together. They have both very unique styles of armor, but they do mesh great side by side. Next up, here we have him standing alongside the Infinity War version of Thor, and as you can see, Heimdall is suitably taller, especially to the big honkin' horns atop his helmet. He's quite a large boy, and that works perfectly fine for me. This looks fantastic. I will definitely be putting him in my Ragnarok display, because it's been a long time coming. Finally, we have a Heimdall, and we can pose him alongside pretty much whichever version of Thor that we have in the collection. So if you have Thor from Thor 1, yep, it'll work. Thor from Dark World, same thing, or even Infinity War. I think personally, he does have a different outfit, but this figure will still work quite nicely. Just going over articulation on Heimdall. Now bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a fixed neck, so you do get a relatively limited range of motion in pretty much all directions. It's just the nature of the beast when you have a fixed neck design. The arms themselves go forward on ratchets to about there. They go out to about there. There is a butterfly joint at the shoulder, swivel at the bicep, a double bend at the elbow, and of course a regular 1/6 scale style wrist peg for the hand. As for the torso, you get a significant crunch forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs themselves will go forward to about there. They will go out on ratchets to there, a swivel at the upper thigh, double bend once again on ratchets at the knee, and of course a ball joint down here for the ankle. Just wrapping up on the Toys era Heimdall figure. This was one that I was cautiously optimistic about. Toys era have proved time and time again that they can make really badass figures. And luckily, they've delivered once again with the Omniscient. A weird name, but a fantastic release. He is really that impressive. The head sculpt is awesome, the paint applications on the armor is second to none. He comes with die-cast accessories on a third-party release, which is something that you wouldn't even expect Hot Toys to do. And the outfit material feels like it will stand the test of time. He also comes with a badass display base, which I'm a huge fan of. The one thing which is bothering me about this figure is the fact that he doesn't come with two sword-holding hands, so you can't really accomplish his iconic pose without having to fudge it a little bit, like I've done in this segment. But other than that, he's fantastic. I highly recommend picking him up if you are a fan of Thor and you want to complete your Thor collection. I know I personally love this figure and will be absolutely displaying him in my Ragnarok display. Now, I personally picked up mine from toyswonderland.com. I have included the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video. This is a review on something that I've added to my own collection, so do bear in mind it is unlicensed when you are making your purchasing decisions. If you are heading down to the description, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.